Hey guys, welcome back to week 2 of the Truth About Entrepreneurship vlog series. This week I talked about finances and I sat down with 2 women who deal with money in 2 different capacities. The first person was Sonia of the Student Loan Doctor LLC. The second person was Erica Booth of Erica Booth Taxes and Accounting Services. So whether you owe money on your student loans and need to figure out how to refinance or get better payments, or you are a small business owner and you haven't paid taxes or have no idea how, these 2 are the women that you want to go to. So I went to them for the talk about finances, and this week I want to go over 3 questions that I asked them. But if you want to see the whole interview, you can go to jazzthepoet.com/blog-1 and you can see it all for yourself there. One of the first questions, and I have my notes here, one of the first questions that I asked them was how you go about setting your price. Because a lot of times, either as women or as millennials in general, we feel unsure or underqualified or whatever the reason may be about setting and owning our price. And I know that this was a particular struggle for me because I'm an artist first and I just really want to do my job and get paid, whatever I'm worth. I don't really like to have the conversations about money. But both Sonia and Erica had something to say. So Sonia said that when she first set her price, she really just set out to make what she was making at work. So she started with $25 an hour. However, in hindsight, she realized that the price that we get paid at work also takes into account benefits that we get and taxes that are going to be paid, which you also have to pay as an entrepreneur later. So she said that the price that we really should be charging is 3 times what we make at work if we want to get back to whatever figure that is. So if she wanted to make $25, she needed to charge people $75 so that she could actually walk home with that $25. Erica had a different take. Erica said that she set her price by doing research in the field. She looked at what other accountants were charging. She sat with accountants who had businesses online or accountants who had businesses in person and looked at the different services they were offering. And then she was able to come up with a number based on what her research showed. She said that the edge that she gave was, or the advantage rather, was that she charged a little bit cheaper than what other people were charging, so that still gave people a benefit in coming to her. But she made sure that she didn't charge too low so that she undervalued herself. So for her, once she knew what the competitors were charging or the people in the field were charging, what the going rate was, she was confident about saying, this is my price, without any hesitation. I'm getting better at it, by the way. A second question that I asked the women was around time management. How do you know specifically when to hire help or when to try to learn something yourself? I know in my personal businesses, I've taken on and have learned so many crafts that I'm now realizing as we expand are jobs that people do full time, from social media management to being the treasurer for your business to sending out all of the emails, keeping track of meetings, and doing all the administrative stuff. To actually running your business, for me, it might be creating content or reaching out to organizations or hosting and performing or planning, vision casting. All of those things don't get poured into when you have to take all of your time to do other things. So I had a lot of questions about time management, and both women had something to say. So Erica said that when you realize that you're not getting things done, or when you have no work-life balance because you spend every part of your waking day working, which has been me for the last 2 weeks, then you need help. And trust me, I'm getting it. So she said that would be the time where you might want to consider bringing somebody on in, because we do want to pay people and people want to get paid. She said maybe you start with paying them for 2 or a couple of hours at a time, maybe 5 hours a week is the commitment, and that's what you can cover, and then you can work them up to part-time. You don't necessarily have to bring somebody on full-time, especially if you can't afford it, unless you get an intern and they want to do it out of the kindness of their heart, or it's somebody who's in school who's studying it and they just need the exposure. Sonia said that she had to look at her day in increments. If learning something that she needs to know, let's say social media or website making, for example, and I'm just giving those examples, she didn't give those, but if learning something she needs to know is going to take too much time away from her money making task, then that's something that she can't afford to learn, and she needs to pay out for that service. So that's how she gauged when it was time to bring on help versus when it was time to do something. And on the note of time and money, she also said, because another question was about like pouring into yourself and investment, that she spends her time learning to do things that she knows that are needed to push the company forward. Right now she has a team of 6 people, so it's important for her to be able to manage. So anything revolving leadership is where she spends her time learning, because that's something that is readily needed for the company. The third thing I'm going to talk about today are challenges. So I asked both women what are some challenges that they face specifically around finances in their entrepreneurial journey. And Sonia said that one of the things was realizing the ebb and flow of entrepreneurship. A lot of times when we switch over, we have to do away with that safety net of a paycheck that's going to come every 2 weeks, and knowing that and kind of understand how our particular business works. I know for a lot of poets and artists that I talk about, they know that the summertime may not be the best time that they make money, or the winter time may not be the best time they make money, because if they're in schools, then they're working through the fall and the winter, or if they're doing events when people feel like going out, then they're working in the spring and the summer. So looking at her business, Sonia realized that there are certain months where she does really well, and she said you'll have those months and you'll be like, oh, I should have been left my job. But then she said there are other months where you're like, oh, do I need to go back to work? So realizing that on average this is what I make, and it may be highs and lows as far as finances related to your specific business or industry, but on average over a 3 to 6 month period, this is what I make, and is this what I feel comfortable with? So that was one of the challenges that she learned, and how she was able to look at that from a different perspective and work through it. Erica said that experiences not necessarily of her own, but that she might notice with her clients, because she works with so many small businesses and independent professionals, is not preparing for tax season. I know I personally know nothing about taxes. Thankfully my mom is an accountant, and that I have Erica to reach out to and to pay for her service. So a lot of people don't prepare for tax season. There are quarterly times where you could pay and or set money aside. And if not, then you need to start preparing at the end of the year, making sure that you have all your books up to date, your receipts and everything that you need to be able to do the taxes. And or she said just having a bucket or an account for miscellaneous expenses. You don't know when your printer is going to go out, or anything could happen around the business. I don't know, maybe you crack your phone and your phone is where you have all the information for your clients. Having that miscellaneous account to account for the unforeseen circumstances is something that is definitely helpful. And I'm learning those things right now in my business, just kind of developing an account that is enough to be able to manage. Speaking of which, another thing Sonia said was learning how to pay herself was a challenge, and how much to pay herself, because even on those good months, you just have a set salary to account for the investments that you need to make, maybe for traveling to other cities to expand your business, or to keep money for other expansion opportunities that you have. So just making sure that, she said, for example, she only paid herself a wee bit more than what she was making at work, because that extra money that she's using is money that's being reinvested into the business for other business purposes. I'm gonna pause there. I think I've said a lot. I don't know how much time it is yet, but I think that that is more than enough gems to know that you definitely want to get in touch with Sonia, the Student Loan Doctor. I'm going to include her information in the comments, and Erica from Erica Booth Taxes and Accounting. They are both on social media. Sonia is the Student Loan Doctor. Erica Booth is Erica Booth Tax, and they have websites that I will include below. And as always, you can check out everything on the blog with links to their social media, their Facebook, their websites. And then just check me out and see what I have going on. Thank y'all. See y'all next week.